In this NVivo12 for Windows demonstration video, I'm going to show you how to work with picture sources. We're going to import a picture source. I'm going to show you how to zoom or rotate it if you need to. We're going to show how to code that source, how to make a picture log, and how to code that picture log. So as far as importing documents, we do it the same way we do any other document, and the easiest way is always to drag and drop. So I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to find the NVivo12 file, which is the one I want to import, and you just drag and drop it onto list view. Okay, I'm going to tell it to go ahead and import. And we have the NVivo12 file along with some other files I've imported. Now, as with all other files, these went into my journals folder because that is the folder I had clicked. Had the surveys folder been active, the NVivo file would have gone here in the surveys. And of course, if I had it in the wrong folder, I could just drag and drop it into the correct one. Next, we want to take a look at the file that we've just brought in. So we're going to look at I think we'll look at the NVivo5 file. And it appears in detail view. And what I wanted you to notice was that there are some controls here that allow you to actually do a bit of editing on the file if it happens to come in and it needs to be rotated, for example. So you click the picture tools, and to the left you see it says zoom, which allows you to decide how you want to see it. I'll say, if we say 100%, we're just going to see a tiny little bit of that file, of course. So we can go back to zoom and tell it we want to say fit to view, and we can see the whole thing. But if, for instance, if I wanted to see a portion of it, I could zoom in to do that. I'm going to now click on the NVivo4 file. Now the NVivo5 file and the NVivo4 file each belong to Diana, naturally, and I'd like to code them to her case. So the way I'm going to do that, in list view, I'm going to click on the NVivo4 file so that it's highlighted. Then I'm going to right click on it where I have the code action menu. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to come down to cases, and I'm going to find Diana's case and code to that case by clicking OK. Now we know that when we open Diana's case, we should see that particular file. I'm opening her case, and what's interesting with picture files is that what you see, instead of seeing when we're looking at the summary view, what you will see are the coordinates that are coded to the case, not the actual picture. But if you actually look at the little tab where it says picture at the side, you can actually see the picture that's been coded there. So you can easily move between the summary and the picture, but you've just got to pay attention to which one of these is clicked. So next we want to code regions of the Diana image to different nodes. And this is really handy. Not all images, for instance, these children's drawings, are searchable as text. So I want to be able to code the pictures that the child has written to different nodes that I've already got created. So I'm going to come down to the codes and open up my nodes so that I see them in list view. And one of the things that I'm going to do first is I'm going to code this image to the book that the child was reading. So I'm going to select use my selection rectangle to select the entire image. And I'm just going to drag and drop it onto the node that represents One Dark Night, which is the book that the child was reading. So you see now we've got a file and a reference, and if we open the One Dark Night node, again, we see the reference for it, we see here, and if I look at the picture, we can see the picture that's coded there. So I'm going to go back to the NVivo4 image. Sometimes you want to code a part of a picture. So for example, in this case, the child has drawn the main character. We have the child drawing the character right here. So I'm going to select just the part that has the character. And I'm going to go to my codes. One of them is draws character. I'm going to drag and drop that section into the node that says draws character. Now another thing that you may want to do with these kinds of images, as I said, because they're not searchable, you may have comments that you want to make about the type of selection that you've made here, what's in the image. And we can do that through a picture log. In order to create a picture log, you need to be in edit mode. And you see the picture log appear to the right. This says region, this part says content. The region will actually put the coordinates of this section in when I tell it to insert row. So I'm going to select again, See if we can select it again, get just what I want. Up above in the Picture Tools menu, it says Insert Row. I'm going to click that. And you see a new row has been created, and the coordinates here give only the coordinates for the part that's selected. In the content part of the picture log, I'm going to type in draws child. I'm going to put in draws child. Now, when you code, you can code the picture, but you can also code the log. So I'm going to code the draws child portion by highlighting that, and I'm actually going to drag and drop that over to draws character as well. Now the other thing I'm going to do is talk about that the child has written the title, and I'm going to highlight that portion. So I'm going to go down to my write code, and here's my one for book title. I'm going to drag and drop that onto book title. Now we're going to browse the node book title just so you can see what this looks like. And here are some others that I've coded previously, but I suspect this is the one we're looking at. No, that's Jalen, so we can actually see, I know this is the Diana file because I see the name of it here, so I'm going to double click on that. And what you see when you open it is that the portion that has been coded is highlighted for us. And so we see right here, we've got a highlighting box that shows what's been coded. So if I want to see what else has been coded on this picture, I can click in the region here, and we see here's the portion highlighted that had the child, draws child. I want to go back to my One Dark Night entry here though, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to create a picture log to go with that. So as we did before, I'm going to insert row, and I'm going to say child writes book title. Now I want to take a look at that because what you're going to notice is that even though this region is linked to where it says child writes book title, because I have not coded the actual text in the content region, it will not appear directly in the node when we look at it. So let's take a look at book title. So we're going to look for, here's our Diana node, and as you can see we have our reference that shows the coordinates for which portion of the image have been coded. We can look at the picture, and we actually can click on Diana and we see that portion, but you notice back in the book title node itself, you notice back in the references that it does not show the words that I typed into the picture log because I did not code them directly. So if you want both the words to show up and the image, you need to code both sections. Now an interesting part of this is there's this thing called shadow coding. So if we come back to the Diana 4 file and we turn on coding stripes under the picture in the picture tools section, I'm going to ask for all coding. You can actually see what's coded in the picture. And one thing that you may notice at times is that there's a little sort of hash marked bit of coding right here, and that is called shadow coding. That's letting you know that there is an additional entry in content that has been coded there. You may not be seeing it, but it is there. When you code a selected region of a picture, NVivo automatically shadow codes the linked log entry to the same node. When you code a log entry, the linked region of the picture is also shadow coded to the same node. However, you'll only see the content text of the log in the node if you have also coded the content to the node as well. You can only see a shadow coding when you are also showing coding stripes. Shadow coding is only visible in the coding stripes and is useful for seeing which portions of the image have been coded. Shadow coding stripes are patterned. You can identify them by their diagonal stripes. Shadow coding can be turned off by going to the picture tools in the picture section and clicking coding stripes, and you can turn off shadow coding if you'd like to do that right here. So finally, we talked about zooming in and out of a picture, but if you find that you need to rotate a picture, you can do that inside of NVivo by coming to the Picture Tools menu, clicking Edit, and you'll find the Rotate Right or Rotate Left images here. So we can rotate right, we can rotate right again. You can also do some work with brightness and contrast if your image needs some adjustment.